All right, we are live, y'all. Welcome to the season recap. This is the season two recap. Season two? Yeah, let me double check. I think it's season two. I'm old. Sometimes I don't be remembering stuff. Let's see. Coaching stuff. That's how I can tell with my coach contract. I'm almost certain this is the recap for season two. Yep. All right. Season two recap. I was like, hey, man, I'm in a lot of leagues. I had to remember. We are going to dive into kind of the rankings at the end of the season, go over everybody's seasons, and get ready for season three. All right. Y'all ready? Let's get into it. All right. So there we go. Shout out to the Heisman winner, Wesley Bison. I think that's how you say his name. He became only the second defensive player ever to win the Heisman. When you look at his numbers, they were out of this world. He set the record for sacks, and he was the anchor really for the back-to-back national champion. I watched a lot of Vanderbilt's games this year on the stream, and Wesley was basically unblockable. I feel like that's how LT looked in his prime because it was Hike and he was in the backfield. It was pretty ridiculous. As good as Vanderbilt's offense was, man, it's his edge rushers were really kind of the difference makers on his squad. So just want to give a shout out to Wesley. He is a senior, so he is graduating. Want to be able to build on that, go back to back highs or anything. He's in the NFL. I would guarantee he's a first round pick. Shout out to Boise coming in last place. His QB, he played both quarterbacks pretty much all season. It looked like, and he combined for 26 touchdowns and 55 interceptions. He did have a junior, Prince Straken, who had over 1,500 yards. I don't know if he's going to end up staying or going to the NFL. It does not matter to Boise State's head coach, though. He got fired. So I keep forgetting to change Boise's picture, but he got fired. Yeah, that nigga's the coach of Houston now. So hopefully the quarterbacks are probably breathing a sigh of relief because they might actually have a good season next season. The Running Rebels finish at 3-9. They're kind of in the same spot. We had 17 teams to start, finish with 16, and so he's still like the second worst team. His middle linebacker didn't end up having a good season. He looked like he played both his quarterbacks all year, and they combined for more interceptions than touchdowns, which is never a good sign for a program or a season. Yeah, so I mean, hopefully he's on the hot seat, but hopefully he can turn it around and find some wins next season. UNLV does have they're close to California, so they do have a recruiting pipeline. He's got to figure out how to turn Vegas into a champion. Number 14, South Carolina. They joined the league late. The cupboard is bare over in South Carolina, but they do have a freshman quarterback. Fabian Atwell did have a good season. I was looking at his numbers. He has a good dev trade. I think he does have something to build with over there, and I'm excited about him joining the league and participating in all of season 3. Shout out to Virginia. They stay in the same spot from the last ranking. Their senior wide receiver, Samir Hagans, he had a great season to finish his college career. But man, Virginia was just couldn't find enough wins. He was one game away from being bowl eligible. Every time I watched him play or saw him play against a user, it felt like he was right there, but just couldn't get enough games won. And honestly, the middle of the pack here is all kind of close, one game separation. So Virginia has a chance to go get a bowl game next year. Hopefully he's recruiting and not too much though. I need the good players from Virginia. You can get all the other sorry players, right? Because we're in the same state. But I think next year he'll make a bowl for sure. It's just about being consistent, stringing a couple more wins together, and he's in a bowl game. Kennesaw State. Shout out to Kennesaw State. Shout out to the Owls, man. His freshman redshirt quarterback, Andre Egbule, man, 38 tutties, almost 3,800 yards passing. He was one bowl win away from getting over 500 for the first time in program history. They got great jerseys. They got great recruiting pipeline in Georgia. And I like the user, man. I think he's doing a good job building one of the worst programs in college football. and you could see the improvement from year 2 to year 1. I know he'll make a bowl game next year, and I'm pretty confident he'll be over 500 for the first time in school history. So shout out to the Kennesaw State Owls and what he's building over there. Then we got Wake Forest, certified gunslinger at the helm, Charlie Gilliam, 46 tutties, 58 interceptions. He throws the ball deep every play, dog. If you watch Wake Forest play, it is Brett Favre, dog. He is trying to gun, and then get the ball back and gun some more. He got the wins to be bowl eligible, but the way it fell, he didn't make a bowl game. If he wins one and he switches a win and a loss, he'll be in a bowl game. Um, he got to find a way to clean up the interceptions. That's really what it comes down to. He's a big play machine, but he turns the ball over just too much to win consistently. And so uh, I think just like Kennesaw State, he'll have a chance to win a bowl game next year. And just I think 8-5 is on the table for him for sure, at least. So looking forward to Wake Forest in season 3. Both of these guys got great jerseys too. That's the thing I hate is I don't got good jerseys, but neither here nor there. FAU. This might be the improvement of this of the dynasty. He was terrible season 1. Lost to FCS, y'all. He lost to FC. Wasn't fair to him. He loaded up and lost to FCS. Year 2, he came out with a vengeance, and really it was his freshman quarterback, Manny Duval, had over 500 yards rushing. I think 15 rushing touchdowns, and then he had over 3,500 yards in the air. So Manny Duval was a culture changer at FAU. He moved down a couple spots because he was almost undefeated during the first recap. I think he was like 4-1, so he moved down a few spots, but he still had a great year. And he actually left his boys high and dry. He convinced Manny to come to FAU to forego bigger offers. He said, "We're gonna do this together." And then after the season, he gave him a deuces, and he's at Oklahoma State. Man, you can't trust these head coaches at NCAA football. We know this. We've read the story. He's one of them guys, man. He told his guys, "We can do it. I promise you next year's going to be even better." But for me, because I'm going to Oklahoma State. So he's at a Power 4 school now. But, hey, kudos to him. He really did something dope at FAU. They got dope jerseys, too. But Oklahoma State does, too. So I guess that's cool. Shout out to the FAU Owls head coach on a great season. And I'm expecting even more for him in Oklahoma State with better players. And hopefully he does some things in the transfer portal as well. Shout out to Rutgers, man. This is my guy, Ant, man. He's a fun guy. His freshman quarterback did great, almost 3,600 yards passing, 33 touchdowns. And although FAU had a better record than him, he popped FAU in the bowl game. And so I had to put him over. So he moved up some spots from 12 to 9 in the recap. He talk hot stuff, dog. Rutgers be talking that hot stuff. So I'm excited to see him moving forward in season 3, especially Vandy reloading, and I'm a realign conferences. He might end up in a Power 4 conference, and so that gives you conference prestige, helps you recruiting. And so I'm excited about what he's going to do moving forward in the league. Rutgers is on the East Coast. He's a New Jersey guy, and so this is personal, him building Rutgers, even though I think if he gets a better job, he's going to leave. But he did have a good season. Shout out to Rutgers for their bowl win and just overall doing well with that roster. Texas State, man, they were the number 2 team early in the year. They kind of fell off, but he runs the football well. He did have at the middle point, he was the best rushing team. Towards the end, Vandy had started running a little bit more, so he ended up second. He had 2 running backs over 500 yards each. He was 4-1, and then down towards the end of the season, when we got into conference play, he couldn't get enough wins to stack it up. I thought he had a chance to make the college football playoff early on, but he finished season 4-4. That being said, 8-5 is not a bad record at all. Not nothing to sneeze at. He's in Texas. Pipeline is amazing. I'm expecting him to keep building Texas State into something really impressive moving forward. USF, probably one of the best jerseys in the game. He ruined Lenore Sellers' sophomore season. I hope he transfers. And he also gave 100 points to Kennesaw State. I saw that as I was like going through the recap, and I was like, bro, how did I miss this? Like, when did this happen? That's crazy to give him 100 to Kennesaw. Shout out to the Owls. No disrespect, but 100 is wild. His defense was what he does, though. He had one of the top defenses in his conference, and I think the future is bright. which is weird to say. He gave up 100, but that shows you how good his defense is. Even with that game where I don't know if he just set it, controller down every time he pressed height, he still had one of the top defenses in the conference. So that shows you how good his defense really was game to game. And even though I want Lenore Sellers to transfer, we got a spot for you at JMU, brother. I hope that I know the future is bright. He's a good user. 10-3 is an incredible season. His pipeline is amazing. And I know that he's out recruiting. And so I'm excited to see what he does moving in this next season. I think he'll have a shot to really, really make I think he'll have a shot to make the college football playoff. If he don't give 100 up to Kennesaw State, he probably would have been in the playoffs. So moving forward. Duke, shout out to Duke. He's ahead of USF because he didn't give up 100. Malik Murphy had a good season. He had 3,700 yards and 34 touchdowns. He did get a bowl win. He was balanced. He had a 1,000-yard receiver and a 1,000-yard rusher. I like Duke's offense and watching them play. He, like I said, super balanced. Just play football the right way. And it's so cool watching Duke become a football school. And so 10 wins, you get the double-digit wins. That's an incredible season. I'm excited to see what he does moving forward, what he's done in recruiting. And I think Duke's going to really, really push some people this year as far as like college football playoffs and being ranked early on in the season. Oregon State, one of the best jerseys in the game for sure. Ben Goldberson almost had 5,000 yards his senior season, threw for 36 touchdowns. Zachary Card, I called it earlier, an incredible season, 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns. I mean, that is like, if we didn't have Vanderbilt and Louisiana cheese in the game, those are Heisman-like numbers. You know what I'm saying? And so I think 10-4, finished with a bowl win. He's gonna keep building on what he did in season 2, and season 3, I think he's gonna be even better. It'll be interesting what he does at quarterback. Ben was a senior. I'm interested to see how he recruited, or if he has somebody redshirted or on the depth chart that can slide into this spot and keep the momentum. That's the fun thing about college is you have these super dope guys who are like dominant, and then they go to the NFL or graduate, go be accountants. And so you got to figure out how to replace them. So I'm interested to see what he does at that position. He does have a number 1 receiver guaranteed. And so I think Zachary's going to have an even better year, especially with a younger quarterback. He's going to get the ball a lot. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Oregon State can do next season. Shout out to Louisiana. I always say the Raging Cajuns. It's one of my favorite teams in the league. Raji Dennis. And so this was the interesting thing. Louisiana really was a wing bone, flex bone team. And I looked at his stats. He had a receiver that had over 2,400 yards and 34 touchdowns. And so that's crazy because I was watching some of his games. I thought he was running triple option, but I guess he started airing it out. And man, he that's an incredible year. 2,400 yards and 34 touchdowns. That's like somebody's career, let alone one season. And then his edge rushers were incredible. Like I said, him and Vandy, they be cheesing. He had 60.5 sacks between his 2 edge guys. Both of them are seniors though, so I'm interested to see if he can find if it's his scheme or if it was these guys were just amazing. So we'll see exactly what that means, exactly what that is moving forward. But I think he is one of the best users in the league, if I'm being honest. Like, and so I'm excited about. I think he probably got one more year at Louisiana. He was not happy with his job offers, and so I think one more year at Louisiana, he'll probably dip out, but he'll be in the running this year for a college football playoff spot for sure. Shout out to Liberty, man. They joined the league late. They joined the league late and went 12-2. Kaden Salter, if you know about NCAA, he's probably the best quarterback on the game, other than Shedeur, and it's close. Man, 4,500 yards, 42 touchdowns senior season. I mean, you can't say nothing bad about that. He had 2 senior receivers, which is interesting because like you got a senior quarterback, 2 senior receivers who had 2,000 yards and 26 touchdowns. Can you reload? Like that's the question in college all the time. It's can you reload? So I'm interested to see what Liberty does. I don't know much about him. Like I said, he joined a little late, but he streams his games. I watched a couple. And so I think he'll be a good user, and I think he'll have a shot to even improve if he recruited. That's the thing. If you don't recruit, man, He had his 3 guys, all his top guys were seniors, which happens at the mid majors to compete. You got to develop guys, and so I'm interested to see how he recruited. If he was able to leverage a really good season into some really good recruits. Shout out to the James Madison, baby. Hey, man, school record for wins. We went 12-3. Hey, and we really would have went 14-1. I had 2 fair sim losses to the CPU teams in my conference, which is just unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? There's no excuses. Inexcusable. It's just dumb. But we went from 8-5 to 12-3 in season 2. And Vanderbilt cheesed me in the playoffs. I was beating him, and he was like, my internet, and I was being nice. And then he plugged in and became an incredible player again. But we made it to the second round of the college football playoff. I was super happy with my team. We took a shot on our freshman, John Waiters. Man, it's just something in the spring game. We were doing the workouts. He just seemed to want it more. He was super low rated, but it was something about him. And we turned the keys over to the team to him, and man, he carried us, man. It was so many games where he would have 20 carries, 25 carries, and it was just fun to see. He almost got to 1,000 yards rushing, almost double-digit touchdowns, and it's his sophomore year. I know he's gonna have a Barry Sanders like year. I'm okay with handing that ball off and letting him go to work, so I'm excited about that. We ain't going nowhere. We had some offers: Auburn, Miami, Notre Dame called. We ain't going nowhere, dog. We James Maddie through and through. We're gonna build something special over here, so I'm excited to do that. We're going for a title here in this next year, man. We won the American Conference Championship, and I'm excited moving forward as we get a shot to really have a good year. I can't say much about Vandy, man. He's 16-0. Took on all challengers, beat all challengers, had some close games. Had a lot of blowouts. He won Heisman with Wesley. He won best quarterback with Nate Johnson. Nate Johnson was at 80 touchdowns, 8,000 yards. It was stupid. Randy Fontenette won best DB. Micah Bell won best running back, the converted receiver. Bond won the best receiver. He did back-to-back champs, man. I mean, he was frustrated with not getting great job offers, which is interesting, but I don't know why you want to leave Vandy. I mean, you got something crazy there. I know you get any recruit you want. I know he's mad that his quarterbacks is now. Here's the thing about Vandy. Everybody was an upperclassman. All seniors, juniors, and they're transferring or graduating. So I'm interested to see exactly how good he is this next year. I think it's going to tell us how good he is as a user. And I don't think there's anything wrong with him having a down year where he wins 10 games or goes 10-4 or 11-3. I wouldn't knock him for that because all the speed and stuff he had, it's going to be a difference in how he plays for sure. But man, watching him play, I've watched a lot of his streams because I mean he's a champ, and man, he was balanced. He played smart. And he was just electric. He had electric playmakers that he could run jet sweeps to or outside handoffs, and they could turn a 3-yard game into 60 or 70. Nate Johnson was incredible for him. And so I'm excited to see what he does moving forward and how good he gets because, man, right now, can't nobody really say nothing to him in the league. And so I was excited about having a shot at him last year. And like I said, he don't put a plug on me. I'm just playing. It was no issue. But we're going to see who can knock him off. Right now, he the champ, so he ain't the champ no more. One thing I do want to know is, like, some of y'all missed this last year. During the season, you have an opportunity to get a freshman better. So it's going to be the same thing as just freshmen. Everybody else is on their own for improvement. But you stream and you just put a +2 in the section that says freshman growth, and that's all it takes for you to just get somebody better and have somebody really improve. And so that's the goal for this next season. I'm trying to just help you all, a little incentive to keep us active and keep us going. Off-season schedule's live. Let's get ready for season 3, man. Thank y'all for joining. If you got a couple guys that are interested, we're running the league regardless. We're having a great time. I love NCAA. Like I said, it ain't got to be full. That's just not my goal with this league. My goal with this league is just do it long-term with a group of guys that enjoys the game. And so I hope that you are having a great time. Invite some people if you want. If not, we're going to keep rolling. Conference realignment is happening. So we're going to have some guys moving to a Power 4. It's going to be a lot of the teams that were Power 4 already So like your teams out, pull out the ACC or SEC or whatever. We're gonna put them all in one conference, and then so that way they can benefit from recruiting and those kind of things. And then some of my other schools, some of my other programs will get a shot against the other kind of similarly skilled users to win a conference title, to have a good record. And so I'm excited about the conference realignment. And yeah, man, let's keep it rolling. We're going to off season probably take 2 days, and then we'll be into season 3, man. Appreciate y'all joining and sticking with it and having a good time, keeping the chat active. Let's keep it rolling, man. I am honored to be your commissioner. And until next recap, man, I'm out. Peace.